All right, welcome to another wonderful day on the Queen Amina Show. It's always a pleasure to come to you from the comfort of my home. And today on the show, we have a super special guest that is going to spend the next 1 hour with us talking and discussing and deliberating and coming up with some sort of solutions or suggestions on how we can deal with the security issues that our country is facing today and post-COVID and has been facing. So if you have any questions, remember how we do it on this platform. Send in your questions on the comment sections and we will be able to take them one at a time. As time permits us, we will respond to your questions. The ones that we can answer, we will be able to send the questions to our guest and he will respond to it and I'll forward it to you later. As you all know, the world is in turmoil. Whether we see it or we refuse to see it, there is problem. And talking more and more about it, hopefully we will be able to find some sort of solution that will bring us back to a peaceful world. Today, we're going to be focused on our home country, Nigeria, where I came from. So let us bring up our guest. And first, we're going to have a brief introduction from him, and then we would dive right into the questions. Good afternoon and welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, Amina.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come and spend an hour with me and my audience.
We're in the evening in Nigeria here. We're in 7 p.m. now, so I'll say good evening.
Okay, so good evening from Nigeria and good afternoon from Canada. Welcome to the Queen Amina Show, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So a lot of us would like to know who is Aare Iba Dr. Gani Adams.
Well, my name is Iba Dr. Gani Adams, the Aare onankakanfo of Yoruba lands, the National Coordinator of Oodua People's Congress in Nigeria, the Global Convener of Oodua Progressive Union in about 90 countries now. Let me stop at
that. 90 countries around the world is what you are connecting together. And
yes, definitely.
That's amazing. Well, for people that don't know what the Yoruba land and the culture and what you're doing with the Yoruba around the universe, could you please tell us a little bit about what you are doing with the Yorubas around the continent?
Well, when you are talking of a group that we founded around the continent is Oodua Progressive Union, OPU, that saddled the responsibility of promoting Yoruba culture and tradition, and at the same time have the responsibility to promote our identity and to encourage our children and our generation to know where we are coming from. If you don't know where you are coming from, you won't know where you are going. And if you don't know the importance of your history, and you don't have information about the uniqueness of your race, you won't be proud of your race. And at the same time, we founded Oodua Progressive Union, which is in almost 90 countries now, based on unity for the Yoruba people in diaspora. We realize that we have a lot of resourceful people in abroad, in diaspora. But the problem we are having at home and in diaspora is that the Yoruba people did not unite. And if they don't have a common platform, common mission, it will be extremely difficult for them to unite. And that was one of the reasons that we founded Oodua Progressive Union in 2011. Talking about a group at homeland in Nigeria, is the Oodua People's Congress, which is one of the groups that fought for our democracy between 1994 to 1999. And the Oodua People's Congress too believe on promoting culture. But now we have diversified the activities of the Oodua People's Congress. We have founded a group too called Olokun Festival Foundation in 2004. Now, Olokun Festival Foundation saddled the responsibility of promoting Yoruba culture in Nigeria and Africa. OPC remain as a watchdog to fight for the interests of the Yoruba people and to fight for justice irrespective of any ethnic nationality you belong in Nigeria. Because if you have your own interest, you don't believe in justice, definitely you are not looking for the love of Almighty God. God is a God of justice. No matter how your interest is, no matter how you want to defend your people, the interest of the people on the basis of justice is very, very paramount in the realm of God. So definitely, in as much we are fighting for the Yoruba people, we believe in justice in the entire Nigeria.
When you talk of justice, there's this saying that common sense is no longer common. Justice is supposed to be simple common sense that people are supposed to say, okay, this is right from wrong. But today, in our world today,
hello?
I can hear you clearly, sir.
Hello, Queen?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, Queen?
I can hear you clearly, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah, but it's very low here. Let me use my earpiece. Those who are distracting us from the calls. So we can do justice about that. Can
you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you very clear. Very clear. So okay. Let me see. Roll out the question. The second question. Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to make a statement. Can they put back that light back on you? There was the perfect. That's better. Thank you, sir. So I was making a statement when you spoke about justice in our country. It doesn't look like we have any form of justice anymore. So my first question to you is, what are some of the reasons why we don't see justice being served the way it is supposed to be served, in your opinion?
Well, Nigeria was not built on the basis of injustice from the beginning. So, and the agreement our forefathers have based on independence in 1960 is that we should have a country on the basis of federation, on the basis of federalism. And within 6 years of our independence, even in 1963, apart from the document given to us, constitution given to us by the colonial master in 1960, 1963, our political leader by then agreed on Republic Constitution, which reflected that every region should develop at their own pace. Certain percentage should be contributed in the central. But in 1966, the military incursion to our politics destroyed every legacy we inherited from our political fathers, even from the struggle of the Abat Macaulay after the amalgamation in 1914. So since 1966, we have been trying to manage our existence so that a corporate existence of our country without managing it on the basis of justice and fair play. And you will realize that after the Civil War in 1970, a civil war that happened in 1967 to 1970, we are living on the basis of mutual suspicions. The Igbo did not trust Yoruba, Yoruba did not trust Igbo, the Fulani did not trust Igbo, even the minority group did not trust the major tribe in Nigeria. And that was what led to the formation of this group in 1994. I started my activism in 1993 when the election of June 12 of Chief MK Abiola was annulled. And when we realized that there's always been a mutual suspicion within the major tribe and the minority. So we have to start as a charity must begin at home.
That's
Let
right.
us form a group of a Yoruba organization. If we put our house in order, we'll be able to metamorphose to put the entire Nigeria in order. But the problem Nigeria has is that we are not looking or inspired for the same thing. What the Northerners are inspired for is not what the Southerners are inspired for. But the middle class, they have a similarity with the Southerners. But the core north, which is the northeast and northwest, they are inspired to be a country like a Sudan, like Mali, like the Muslim country. But we in the Southern, we are inspired to be like a Western country like Europe, US, Canada, and Britain. So the two main blocks, the Southerner and the Northerner, have two different mindsets. Even in the Constitution we are using now, the Southerner believe in the Western Constitution, but the Northerner in the 19th state, they use Sharia, or they tactically call it a penal code. So definitely, for Nigeria to be a solid nation, one nation, indivisible country, we must prepare our own constitution that we call a people constitution. A 1979 constitution was designed by the military, by Fiat, and given to the democratically elected government of Shagari. And the 1999 constitution was being written by 26 military men of occupation, and it was given to President Olusegun Obasanjo, who won the election in 1999. After 1963 constitution, Nigeria as a country have never sat and write their own constitution. Constitution is the document of guidance of any nation. What did we want? The major tribe. What is the minority? The minority, the ethnic nationality, want to be a nation. How do we agree to live together to be a one nation? How will we manage this country that injustice will not prevail? Because if you fail to suppress injustice, you can't suppress violence. You can't suppress crisis, and you can't suppress political crisis. So when you are talking of injustice, there's a lot of injustice in Nigeria. The injustice have already graduated to nepotism. And that was one of the reasons in Nigeria today we don't have political stability.
That's right. That's right. Now, do you think that, having said all of this, there are a lot of platforms where people are talking about this injustice, the stability of Nigeria, the African continent as a whole. People are busting out, talking about how Blacks should return back home. And, it's everywhere. But the truth is, do you think our leaders, beginning from Nigeria, do you think the leaders are ready to embrace this new movement of living in unity, creating a one Nigeria, coming up with a constitution that is going to guide and unite us together? Do you think our leaders are ready? And if yes, how do you think they are ready?
Democracy is the government of the people, for the people, and the well-being of the people. Thank God the world is a global village. People have the opportunity through internet to express their feelings and to even form a group without meeting physically. It gives room to share ideas and to disseminate information about what is happening in our own country. Compared to when the military was in power that gagged the media, it will be extremely difficult for any government in the global village to gag the media now, because every person that have Facebook, that have Twitter, that have Instagram, is an editor on his own self. So I think if you don't ask for your rights, God will not support you. Until when you say you want to fight for injustice, God will not call his angel, go and support them, they want injustice. But if you fold your hand, God will say that they are not tired of this suffering, leave them alone, let us face Syria, let us face another continent. So when you rise up and say, we want change in our country, we want another constitution in our country, we want our country to be restructured. And unfortunately, there's an impediment on our way in terms of development. There's an impediment on our way in terms of having a very good security that led us to insecurity. There's an impediment on our way for not having a stable economy. There's an impediment on our way on the basis of we don't have a stable policy that will encourage investors. So definitely, if Nigeria did not have the people's constitution, it will be extremely difficult for us to move forward. If Nigeria did not have a people constitution that have the content of restructuring, like the way our forefathers agreed, they have the vision by then. They went to Britain, London to negotiate this independence. And they know the peculiarity of Nigeria, that Nigeria is a nation within a nation, because we are being merged together by the Lord God in 1914. Our forefathers did not even agree together that they want to be the same nation. We are being forced because of certain economic advantage of the Southern. And it can happen. It happened in the United States. Many tribes was being merged together. But one of the reasons that the United States can manage a wholesome of population of about 328 million people with a geographical spread that a plane can fly within 6 hours to 7 hours within America is because they run that country on the basis of true federalism. Each one of the 50 states have the autonomy to have their own Supreme Court, to have their appeal court, to have their own police, to have their own institution. The federal government was saddled the responsibility of international relation, policy, how to governize the entire state. I think we borrowed this constitution. I read the biography of Joseph Waya, the former Senate president in 1979 to 1983. He told us that they went to US for a period of 3 weeks to study the Constitution of the United States. And because they were running the same constitution, with the US, they emulate the same constitution. Unfortunately, when the constitution gets to Nigeria, it was redesigned from federating unit through federalism to unitary system of government. And there's nowhere in the whole world. There's nowhere in the whole world with the kind of population we have, with a population of about 200 million people, and a country with about 250 ethnic nationalities, that you can run that country with a unitary system of government. It can't work. You can only run a country with just a population of 5 million to 10 million with unitary system of government, and which have the ethnic nationality that is not up to 20 with unitary system of government. And that was the bane of our country on the basis of development. So if we don't solve their problem, we are just postponing evil day. You can see the situation we have now. You can see the level that we are being indebted. We are borrowing to pay salary. We are borrowing to move the nation forward. And we have the resources. We have the mineral resources. We are the 4th or 6th nation in the oil producing state in the whole world. Actually, we have solid mineral that cannot. We have the solid mineral that cannot be compared to even South Africa, that have the highest sales of solid mineral in Africa. But what we need is that we should do the right thing on the basis of structure. And when you are talking of structure, it started from the document that we use for that structure, and how the structure will be in the content of the constitution that will give you federating units to develop at their own pace, that will give you true federalism to move forward. By then, when you put your house in order in the basis of structure, definitely you can run a very good country that you can be proud of. You can see the structure of Canada as a country. Canada run provinces like a region. And I believe, I don't know the deep content of the Constitution of Canada, but I believe that the Canadian people, they develop at their own pace, and they share certain quota to the central. That's why they can manage their country and develop the way they have. Even US and even UK, they call it United Kingdom. Scotland, ways. They have their own region, and they contribute certain things in the central. The island was part of them before they gave them an independence. So I don't see how Nigeria can be an island of itself and have different way of running a government that now put us in this kind of trouble we have.
Thank you so much, sir, for the response to that question. When you talk about we getting more and more into debt, borrowing and borrowing, do you think that Nigeria, Chinua Achebe said, he said something that I read yesterday. He said, Nigeria is like you are on an airplane that all of a sudden you realize that it has been taken over by hijackers. So do you think that we are being hijacked by foreign government, foreign countries through this borrowing, and very soon is going to become an explosive negative effect on our country, Nigeria?
Well, when the oil was discovered in 1967 in Olobiri, the British government, we signed a document that the content they got from that oil, they will decide on the percentage that will be given to us. I listened to an interview of one person on that regard. And when you realize what is happening in our oil sector now, it's being fully dominated by the Western country.
Correct.
And you don't even know the number of barrels, the contents of barrels they are producing every day. And the government cannot even give us the details. And the country that produce, they gave us information, they are producing about 2.5 millions of barrels per day today. And the country that produce crude oil, 2.5 million barrels per day, did not have any single refinery. When they take the crude oil from you, they take it to Belgium, a refinery in Belgium, and even some African country. They took 13 content from that crude oil, they bring only 3 to Nigeria, which is the petrol, diesel, and kerosene. And even those places that have gas was not even more well managed. They were blowing it because we can't manage it. And when we are talking of the issue of borrowing, a country of ours will have diversified our economy. What are we doing about tourism? What are we doing about the solid mineral? The two sectors, we could have diversified our economy so that it can back up the oil sectors. Now, I listened to an interview of El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State. El-Rufai told the whole world that the solid mineral they have in Kaduna State is times 10 what they have in entire South Africa. Not to talk of the solid mineral they have in the entire Southwest. There is no solid mineral that is not in entire Southwest. There was a time the governor of Kano State, I paid a courtesy visit to him, Shekaru. The man gave me a brochure. In Kano State, they have about 33 contents of solid mineral. Wow. Plateau State have nothing less than even 36. Nasarawa State have about 29 content of different solid mineral. Just of recent, the information in our disposal in Zamfara State, they have been mining golds. They have been mining golds, 24 karat. And from the information, the gold they are mining in Nasarawa can hand Nigeria up to $4 billion every year. And what happened to this solid mineral? It's being mined illegally by illiterate or Chinese expatriates. So when you don't have a good resourceful people that will manage a country, you will continue to be indebted. And that was what is happening to us today. What is the problem? Assuming we agree that Nigeria should be restructured, that our region should manage their resources. 50% or 30% should be given to federal. The kind of responsibility that hang on the neck of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we bounce back to the region. And the region will have enough people to manage these issues. And the president will concentrate on many things in the federal. What are you doing as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? What are you doing with the Ministry of Agriculture? It's supposed to be concurrent lists. What are you doing with Ministry of Water Resources? It's supposed to be in concurrent lists. What are you doing for the Ministry of Humanitarian? It's supposed to be a regional or state issues. Why should you run a bigger country like that, having only one police, one structure of police, and you are looking for effective security? A country of that matter should have like 3 or 4 layers of police: federal police, regional police, state police, and local government police, which the America call canton police, which the Britain call municipal police, grassroots police, that will know the common criminal, a professional criminal in every local government. Because you have been born together. These people, you grow up together. You started your life in earlier life. You know the family that they are criminal-minded family. So if a crime happens in any vicinity in your local government, you set your searchlight to that vicinity, and you will discover those involved. Because the crime you are talking of, insecurity, started from the grassroots. It started from one local government. By the time the local government can nip the bud of criminal within their local government, it won't affect the entire nation. The job of federal police will be limited. But when Nigerian government did not want other structure of police, you can see the battle we fought about Amateco. Now we are still on that battle now, because they don't want any structure of police more than federal police. And people are dying every day. There are many people. They are destroying farms. They are kidnapping people. Apart from the criminal Fulani headsmen, every region have their own professional criminals. Yoruba have their own professional criminals. We have the ritualists that kill people, that remove the breasts of the people, throw them into the bush. A lot of things is happening in Nigeria. But because of your own political interest that you want to use the federal police to determine what will happen in the election, you don't want all the governors to have their own security, and it cost life. It gave us bad image. The investors are scared to come to Nigeria because they won't come and invest their money in a country that is not secure. We have lost the ground on tourism aspect because a tourist who want to come and enjoy your country, you first Google what is happening in your country, listen to what the State Department is written about your country. So definitely, those are what that impede to the progress of Nigeria. But if we can agree, open our hearts, that we want to move this country forward, I think we can solve the problem of Nigeria within 2 years. If we solve the problem of Nigeria within 5 years, Nigeria will be a complete change country that the citizen in Nigeria and homeland will be proud of, and you people in diaspora can be proud of.
Thank you so much, sir. When you talk about, if people can agree to come together and the government begins to agree to, allow each state to be ruling and creating their own sort of mini government to be able to guide their states and their regions. What is your take on let me reframe the question. Do you think that because there is no monitoring bodies monitoring all of these productions of our mineral resources and oil, taking it out, and the whole system is being controlled by some group of cabals? Do you think that is one of the problems why Nigeria is the way it is today?
Well, I think the cabal has been there from immemorial. The cabal did not started from the Buhari-led government.
No.
And apart from cabal in political structures, which is the seat of power in Aso Rock, there is cabal in many sectors in Nigeria. There is cabal in the oil industry. There is cabal on our Nigeria investors. So definitely there are certain people that know how to manipulate our system that they are not even part of the government. There are certain people that have owned the oil well for a period of 20-something years that did not allow another person to manage the oil well. So definitely, the system cannot be monitored without a very good structure. Without restructuring, there can never be a check and balances in every sector we have.
That's right.
If you marry 36 wives, which is 36 states, if you can't control 36 wives with another federal capital as 37, you have to allow the wife to reduce to 6 wives so that you can manage it very well. Okay. Even though when you are talking of the ministry, Nigeria has more than 40-something ministry. How can you manage that? Only Buhari. And that's one of the reasons Abakari hijacked the government from Buhari. A man of 80-something years, you said he should manage 40-something ministry. And most of the ministers, they are technocrats. By the time they start their submission in federal executive, you will be sleeping because you are not their generation. So I think from restructuring of Nigeria to a true federalism, we can be able to have a monitoring mechanism to manage our institution, to manage our sectors. But without restructuring, by the time you hang everything to central in unitary system of government, it will be extremely difficult. Nigeria did not need a central-minded governance. When you are too central-minded, you can't build a very good nation called Nigeria. Okay, look at what the Western region government achieved from a regional government from 1952 to 1959. Most of the institutions that Chief Obafemi Awolowo-led government built by then have been inherited by the Nigerian government. The Nigerian embassy in Britain was Nigerian Western region house by then, owned by the Western region government. Most of the NTA that was being inherited was being built by the Western region. University of Ibadan were being built by the Western region. University of Ife, and likewise in North too. Most of the institutions that was being built by the region were being turned to federal government institutional. And Chief Obafemi Awolowo built Oodua investments of about 20-story building. That was 50s. They finished it around 1963. Since 1963, there have never been a governor in 36 states that built a state property of 20-story building. What you will hear is that they will use their resources of the state that they siphon from that state and call an investor to build their own private 30-something story building. There is no governor that built a structure, a skyscraper of 20-story for their state. Since we become a unitary system of government, we create statism. But by then, the old men were thinking about the people. There was no oil, there was no crude oil. They were living on agriculture and taxes. And at the end of the day, they were even giving free education, scholarship to indigent students that was very good in education. By then, they create an agricultural sectors. They put livestock and different type of products in different type of area. But now, when you ask our politician, what are you doing about your agricultural policy in your state? Instead of them to build something that will last for the state, they will go and invest privately in their own farm. You realize that most of our governors, they have a very large farm that give them a very good economic advantage. They export those content to West African states. I know about 6 governors that have a very good farm and they export livestock and other crops to West African country. So I think the only way is for us to go back to the basis. There always be an adage in Yoruba land. When a children fall, they look their front view. But when an elderly fall, they look at the back. Let us see where we are coming from. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with our system? What is wrong with our character? What is wrong with our attitudes? Our product now, the leaders of tomorrow, they have the brain, they are now turning to Yahoo. Some of them are turning to ritualists. Some of them are turning to cults. Some of them are turning to religion fanaticism groups. Some of them are even given guns to go and mail and rape people. Do we have a future? Most of the African countries that come and study in Nigeria, that study in University of Nigeria, University of Ibadan, University of Lagos, and even University of Nigeria in Izuka, most of them did not. In Benin Republic, 70% of their students come from Nigeria. Most of the university in Ghana, 60% of the students, private university, 60% of their students come from Nigeria. Most of the higher institutions in Kenya, many English countries, about 30%, 40% come from Nigeria. Most of our best brain lecturers have been recruited from Nigeria to all these African countries. When you go to South Africa as a country that will support them in the struggle of apartheid, a country that our students contributed money for them to liberate them. When you get there today, most of their institutions are being managed by Nigeria. Best brain have left our country because they didn't see their future of staying in our country. I know, I have been in Canada. I know how resourceful Nigeria are in Canada, even in US.
Yes.
When certain person is trying to abuse Nigeria in US, by the time they show the data of the resourceful people, Nigerians in US, everybody has to bow for Nigeria. But we were driving our brain from the homeland, and we were using our brain to help the global community. When you go to Saudi Arabia, most of their best doctors, they are Nigerians. Do you know in 1957, the king of Saudi Arabia always come from his own medical checkup in teaching hospital, University of Ibadan. Teaching hospital in University of Ibadan, the king of Saudi Arabia. Wow. So we have to think twice before it's too late. If we don't think twice, we will encourage another agitation to self-determination. And you know what you mean by self-determination? If self-determination comes, you can't manage it back again. But I'm appealing to our President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as a father of the nation, to listen to the view of the people, to listen to the word of the people, because the word of the people is the word of God. So when you fail to do it at the right time, your name will not be right in the history on the God in Pusho.
Thank you so much, sir. I see the king from Uganda. He's online watching us right now. Thank you so much, sir, Your Royal Highness. And a lot of you guys that are just joining in, our guest today is Iba Dr. Gani Adams, Aare onankakanfo of the Yoruba land. That means he is one of the kings of the Yoruba land. And one of the movement that he started is the OPC, Oodua People's Congress, about 90 different countries around the world today.
No, OPC is the group in homeland. Okay. OPU is the group in abroad.
Okay.
OPU is the social cultural group we have in abroad, which is Oodua Progressive Union.
Okay.
That was the group we have in diaspora.
Okay.
OPC is the group we formed in 1994 that is in Nigeria in homeland. Okay. So there are two different groups. Okay. OPU for the diaspora, OPC for the people in Nigeria.
And you control all of it. You're the leader of...
Definitely by the grace of God. Okay. Because I have the best brain as leaders that control all those groups in structure.
Awesome. I have witnessed one of your conventions and it was quite informative and very, very helpful. Thank you so much, sir. Before I take questions or comments from the audience, I have a question for you based on what you were explaining earlier in terms of restructuring. A lot of us talk about restructuring. I want to throw this question out to you just to use this opportunity to speak to our government. If they agree, or when they agree to begin to look at restructuring, what is your advice in the area of focus? Where should we focus on restructuring to be able to help our country restart again in the proper way?
Well, I think we should go and lift 1963 Constitution, which is Republican Constitution. The second one was, I was one of the delegates of the National Conference in 2014. If the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria picked that document and even lift 70% of that content, the content of the report of 2014 National Conference, within 5 to 6 years, Nigeria will move forward.
Wow.
They should marry the content of the 2014 National Conference with 1963 Constitution. Our problem will solve. If you don't want to give away 10 things, you will lose 50 things at the end of the day. Dialogue is the only way to solve a problem everlasting. But when you refuse to, when you refuse to agree with the wish of the people, that means you are calling for anarchy and diarchy. And we don't pray for diarchy in a pass through a lot of things within the military incursion of our government. And when you see the way things are going, look at what happened in the period of COVID-19. We are still on COVID-19 within a period of 3 months. Look at the way other countries, even some African countries, managed, unfortunately, about COVID-19. It was not managed well in Nigeria, a country with a budget of trillions of naira. You can't even remove 500 billion naira to share it as a palliative for your citizen. A president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the father of all. We now see a minister sharing just less than 10 billion naira and now saying to the whole world that it's only northern people that is poor, that there is no poorer people in the southern. If God is very ignorant, and that is a wicked statement. If God is not in control of Nigeria, that thing can turn Nigeria to serious crisis.
That's true.
And this woman took this money and was sharing it to the people without any database, without any protocol. And within a period of 3 days, he said he have shared almost 10 billion naira. And no single Southerners that received the sum of 20,000 naira. No. And you can see what people pass through within that period. Even now that some of the Western states have given us partial lockdown, we haven't settled down. We can't do anything in the office. When we get to office, because most of our workers cannot come to office, I will do my naming ceremony tomorrow. I have told people that they should not come in the large number because of COVID-19. Just giving the naming ceremony and reduce it to 20, take it or take away and leave. But if you have an organized country like other countries, definitely the burden will not be so much to us like where we are today. A sister African nation, Madagascar, discovered an herb. And our president took the herb and now said, I will not recommend this herb today. I will take it to the normal scrutiny in the institution. It has been with him for a period of 3 weeks now. The institution have been doing the scrutiny. So either recommend it or against it. And people are dying every day. How long will you continue to play with the international politics of WHO in the detriment of the life of your citizen? The life of citizen, protection of your life of citizen is very paramount because they give you the mandate to lead them as a leader. And there's no any alternative on herb or orthodox. Now, we are just managing the COVID-19 on the basis of risk. We have lost almost 300,000. And you know, we have the immunity more than the Oyinbo people like the Western nation. And our weather did not even encourage COVID-19 to be a large number in Africa. But notwithstanding, why can't we show our skill with the brain we have, with the herbal practitioner to recommend their own, even though we don't accept the Madagascar herbs. The Madagascar just bring 3 herbal practitioners together and they invent that drug. And the president was so bold enough to tell the whole nation that this thing is real and we have been using it in our nation. And other Africans have been stylishly buying it. Even we read it in information that one of the powerful nations send the money for them to produce more content for them to use. So I think we need to sit down to see that, do we want to continue as a nation? Do we want to move this country forward? How do we move it forward? The level of sincerity about our citizens will show where we are going. Nigeria is one of the most hardworking citizen or product in the whole world.
Absolutely.
We are very hardworking, and we have a lot of resourceful people in different professions. Nigeria have showed their worth as a nation. Forget about a few elements that are criminal within us. There is no nation that have a large population like this that will not have their own bad egg. Even out of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, we still have Judas. But apart from that, we have a best brain that have made a lot of landmark in the global community. It depends on the leader we have that will manage us, that will show our potential to the global community.
Thank you so much, sir. We have a question from, I'll take one of the questions from the audience, even though I have a lot of questions here and we have 14 minutes more. So Regalia's outfit is out of Ibadan, I think, Ife. He is that a question or a comment? Okay, so he said Nigerian medical practitioners are leaving because there is a good structure in the health sector, etc., outside the world. Same we need to do here. On security, to be frank, I am not a support of state police just for one reason, fear of abuse. What is your take on that, sir?
If she's not support of state police, you should ask herself a question that the federal police is not being abused. If you are talking about political disadvantage of the state police, you have to talk about many advantages of the security of life and property. It's when you are safe on the basis of life and property, you'll be talking about your political future. When you sleep in your house, you don't need vigilante to protect you. When you sleep in your house, they don't put you in prison. You know what happened in most of the urban area in Nigeria now? We are being put in prison from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. because most of the main streets were being locked their gates, and there will be a security. You can't enter your street by 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's kind of a prison. But when we have effective state police, a state police will patrol, strategic place they will park there to monitor what is happening. A strategic place, there will be a camera. There will be a central to monitor everywhere. The slogan of not having a state police that governor will abuse is a central-minded product of Nigeria. Those who does not want Nigeria to be restructured. Not even only state police. Talking about electricity. Every state should have their independent autonomy to bring their investor, to bring an investor to build their own independent power project. We are living, as I'm talking to you, you said you complained about noise from the beginning of this program. I'm hanging on generator for the past 24 hours.
Wow.
And funny enough, if you have the light from the federal government PSEN, the central AC, the PSEN content of light cannot pick my central AC until I on a generator. So those who said they don't want state police, I can say tactically they are heartless. Because without state police, we can't have effective security. Having state police, that does not mean that they will eradicate the federal police. A federal must have a structure of police that will control, that will checkmate the excesses of the state police. And there will be a constitution, a guideline, a law that will guide the activities of the state police. Not even only state police. Every local government should have their own local government police. That the recommendation of the people that will be recruited to that local government police will come from the traditional ruler and the leaders of every community that will sign on behalf of the people that will be recruited. If they misbehave, it will bounce on the people that will be a guarantor. Definitely, a very good character will be a product of those police. Not Nigerian police that they recruited you by your CV and they don't want to know your background. I'm not saying that the Nigerian police have not tried their own best. They were complaining about their strength. They are complaining they are underfunding. But I'm telling you, most of the money that stand Nigerian police out in the state were being contributed by the governor. If the governor spent half of the money to their own state police, they will have effective security in their state. Unlike our own state, that is on our own western region, there's some area that the federal police can never infiltrate in terms of criminal. It's those who belong to that community that can go to that area and make sure they root out the criminal within that destined population area. A good example, if not because of OPC in 1999, Akala will not be sanitized today. When Marwa was the military governor of Lagos State, he took electricity bus, three loaded of army to Akala, but they couldn't root them out. But because we have the Yoruba people that was living with them, that realized that we have to root them out to bring sanity to Mushi. That was done. Although people call it different names, but at the end of the day, a related piece is a Mushin today because most of the criminal in Akala have been rooted out from that area. So, and the people there who are not criminal, they are living in peace and harmony. So, I'm not talking only in state police. If state police is just like a 1% or 2% of the main restructuring, we are talking of total and completely restructuring of the Federal Republic as a country. A state police was just 2%. Because how will you have a region and the regional premier will not have its own police? How will you have a state who own the economic of the state without having their own security? That was a lie and a fallacy in our constitution. In the content of our constitution, the governor of the state, they call them chief security officer of their state in 36 states now. And when the governor passed an order to the commissioner of police, the commissioner of police sometimes refused the order and take the order of IG in Abuja. And they call them the chief security officer of their state. A chief security officer of their state that did not have their full policeman to implement their order. So in any true federalism, there is no way you can run a governance in that process without giving certain power to the governor, without giving certain power to the premier. And look at the contents on exclusive list. It's about 66 contents in exclusive list in our constitution. In concurrent, it's just 14. And the 14 is flexible that the federal government can manipulate. And when you are talking of residual list, which is the local government, they are minimal. Now, the salary, the allocation of the local government is coming to the governor. The governor is building market, and building market, tying most of the road of the local government was supposed to be the responsibility of the local government chairman. And when you see most of the community today, the local government chairman cannot build the local road, which is not state road, because they are not having enough. Their money was coming to the governor will give them peanuts out of the allocation. So they will just go to office and sleep. After, they will leave the office for 30 days. After, for three years, they will do another election. So a lot of things runs in our system. There is a lot of flaws in 1999 Constitution. The person who wrote that message, you ask himself, is Nigeria that wrote the Constitution of 1999? It's being wrote by the military of occupation. Abu Salam-led government, and he imposed it to the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Olokun, because we are eager to have democracy. We want to ease the military out of our polity. So when the Constitution came, we now wait, okay, let us agree the document. After the civilian government comes to power, we discuss how we review it. And when you have the people in the parliament to review the Constitution, they were reluctant to review the Constitution because most of them, they are product of wrong system. When a governor spent 8 years in governance, he will make sure he became a senator. I will now become a King Kong in the red chamber. And at the end of when you are talking of how to move the country forward, they have already saw their hand in the wrong game. They will be laughing at you because most of them bought the PACN, they can't probe the PACN. Most of them bought most of the things that were privatized. When you take them to call them, they will just rub their palm. They will discuss blah blah. They will leave them alone. So a lot of things is wrong in Nigeria. We have to put everything down to shake it and restructure it for us to move forward. If not, I doubt what will happen. I doubt the agitation that will be coming out within a period of 1 year because Nigeria are tired.
Well, thank you so much. Our time is fast spent. Guys, we are talking with Iba Dr. Gani Adams, Aare onankakanfo of the Yoruba land, and the issue today is the security for human lives and property in our country. Sir, there's a very important question here that I would like to take, if you don't mind spending another extra maybe 10 minutes with us. The first question is from one of our viewers, which says that you talk about bringing much power to the government, individual government in the country, Nigeria. And the person said that if the so-called state governors have been utilizing the so-called security votes they got monthly, security threats shouldn't have been an issue such that Governor Wike of Rivers State can compromise federal police by arresting those who are on national assignment for the federal government. What will he do if he is in charge of state police? First of all, I want to say that on our platform, we don't talk about people and call their names and try to bring derogatory words on them. Having said that, it's up to my guest to say, yes, he wants to respond to it, or he would not respond to the question. Sir, it's your option, sir. I lost your audio, sir. Oh, we can't hear you. Your mic is muted.
Hello?
Oh, yes, now we can hear you.
It's not only the governor that is guilty for not spending the security vote very well, even the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The President of Federal Republic of Nigeria is getting a whole sum of security vote, and the Vice President. And moreover, we are not even talking of security votes. Most of the states in Nigeria have police trust funds or security trust funds that the investor, like Lagos State, the investors are contribute certain money to the state government purse on the basis of security trust funds. And this money was being used to finance various security architecture within the state. Talking of Nigerian police, talking of SSS, talking of Nigerian Army and Nigerian Navy and Air Force, even civil defense. And the problem have never been solved. It's a huge money, even more closer to the security vote. The security vote is not even meant for security alone. It's PR. It's part of it is PR. Those who visit the governor can give a token money, that will have the love of the state, that can gather intelligence for the governor when problem is coming. Those who can solve the problem together with the governor we can call to reconcile people with the government. So security vote is not even meant to give to security alone. It has many ways that governor can spend it for. And even the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has his own security vote. Don't forget, we are not talking about internal security now. The territorial integrity of Nigeria has been threatened by the Boko Haram within Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. And Nigerian Army, who saddled the responsibility to defend the territorial integrity, are having serious problems within Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, and even other areas that Boko Haram have infiltrated. So when you are talking of the issue of security, a lot of things is very, very wrong. And when you don't want to make a change, definitely you want us to continue on this crisis. When so-called people in Abuja who have the belief of manipulating everything every time, it's creating fear that the governor will misuse the structure of state police, continue to deceive you, prepare to listen and hear the bad news every day in Nigeria. But if you want to solve the problem of Nigeria, to minimize security threat in Nigeria, we have to tell ourselves the bitter truth. We have to prepare a solution to the problem of our insecurity.
Yes,
what we are doing about Amotekun in the Southwest was not state police. It was like a civil security that will back the police. And even within the process, the federal institution is not convenient with it. And we are losing people in our farm. Our people cannot go to farm like before. They have discouraged people that want to involve in agricultural sector, the private initiative. And in our road, when it got to starting time in the night, you can't pass through our road. You will be kidnapped. And even within the commercial area, a lot of ugly things happen. And when a situation happens like that, you have to prefer a solution to it. So when you are talking about state police, we are not even talking about state police now in the issue of Southwest. We are talking of Amotekun to complement the effort of the various security administration of Nigeria. But what can solve the problem of entire Nigeria is total overhauling, total restructuring. Even the state police was just like 1 or 2% of overhauling of Nigeria. We are talking overhauling in different policy. We are talking overhauling in electricity. Nigeria cannot grow where we don't have a constant power supply. No serious investor will come to that country. Now, most of the industry were being sold to the religion organization. Industry are collapsing, being sold to religion organization, and religion organization was being growing every day. A country of that matter cannot have economic buoyancy. And at the same time, most of the structure that was being built by our political father in 60, in 50 have been bastardized. So definitely, I think you should have a mind of rethink. I'm 50 now. So within the period of, if God give me a grace to spend another 30 years, to have another 30 years, it's left to my children. Why should you expect me to live this life and my children will be cursing me that what is our father done as an Aare onankakanfo? That this problem persists to the extent that it's becoming uncontrollable.
Wow.
So we have to tell the honest truth. We have to, although Aare onankakanfo is just like a state position sometimes. Those predecessors who hand this position, Akintola in 1964, the Premier of Western Region, Chief M.K. Abiola in 1988, who is the pillar of sports, and a philanthropist who won the election in 1993. But I have a background of activist as a cultural promoter, defender of the people. So the blood that moves in my vein can never change because I hand a position. So my character must reflect in the stool that I sat on as an Aare onankakanfo. I must tell Nigeria the honest truth, irrespective of the ethnic nationality you have. Truth is only way that we can use to move this country forward. If we continue to deceive ourselves, we are wasting our time. The global community is laughing at us. During our election, you will see open rigging. The INEC will compromise. The police will compromise. The ISS will compromise. And they are the institution we must respect. When people die in Nigeria in a collateral damages or crisis, the information the government will give to you is different from the real information the media will investigate. Yes. Unlike United States of America or Canada, when they lost 300 people, they will say exactly figure and data. But Nigeria lost 300 people, they will reduce the figure to 50. And what a nation. When the people who saddle the position of responsibility as a leader will be telling their citizens lies, what do you want the citizen to emulate from you? So, my dear sister, without taking too much of your time, I must thank you for this opportunity because I have other engagement. So I have a lot of visitors in the house.
Yes,
so
sir.
I promise you, with time, I can still come back to your program. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Please just give us your last word before you leave. What's the way forward?
I have told you the way forward is about restructuring.
Okay.
It's about having the people's constitution. It's about lifting the 1963 constitution and the recommendation of the report of the National Conference of 2014. For our government, the federal government should pick some content from that document and move Nigeria forward. Without restructuring Nigeria can never move forward. I've never seen the angel that will move this country forward without restructuring.
Thank you so much, very much, sir. How can people follow you if they want to maybe contact you or send you some messages, your social media handle? Please let us know so people can contact.
Let me just give them Aare Gani Adams in Twitter and all social media, Aare Gani Adams, or Aare onankakanfo of Yoruba land. They can get me, or they can get me in cultural platform. Okay. And they can get me online on 082 55 85 6777. 082 55 85 6777. And you can get me on oodua@yahoo.com. 10, not 20 from beginning. And it's small number, not capital letter. Okay. oodua@yahoo.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. The Lord God Almighty bless you and enjoy your naming ceremony tomorrow. I wish we can join you on Zoom or any platform. Let us know and we will join in the celebration.
Thank you very much, Queen Amina.
God bless you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, thank you guys so much. Sarah, all the way from Kenya. Oh my God, it's so late and yet you waited up to watch us today. You were one of our fantastic guests on the show and we would love to have you back again. Thanks a million to Dr. Gani Adams for that wonderful session with us. I keep saying section, pardon me. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much once again. Tomorrow we're going to be having another fantastic show. But before I go, I promised to talk to you guys about Regalia Outfit all the way from Nigeria. Contact him on Facebook. He's been a great supporter of the Queen Amina show. They make beautiful clothing. So make sure you're contacting him on Facebook. His Facebook page is Regalia, REGALIA_S outfits with an S, plural. And also we launched my friend's favorite book yesterday. It's an amazing book, The Fruitful Vine and Olive Shoots. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, contact me, let me know, and I will tell you how to get a copy. Either you can get the hard copy like this mailed to you, or you get the Kindle version. It's a wonderful book. I started reading it. I was reading another book, but dropped it off just to go through this. And I'm going to tell you guys some of the things that I learned from it. So if you want your business promoted on the Queen Amina show, it's time to contact me. Send me your information, inbox me, DM, any way you want to get in touch with me, or you can simply send an email to queenaminashow@gmail.com and we will help you to bring audience and clients and customers to your business. All right, until tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I would say goodbye. And tomorrow we are going to be talking about money, how to make money. Nobody teaches you how to make money. Everybody said, go to school, get a degree, get a job. There are other ways that you can make money. There are other ways that you can live financially free. So we're going to be sharing that tomorrow. And on the 8th of June, don't forget, write it on your calendar. The super African mama that is arising with might to take back the Africa that we're looking for, in the person of the former ambassador to the African Union, Dr. Dr. Ericana, how do you pronounce her last name? I know it's Dr. Ericana Kwa. Chihombori is the other name. So Dr. Ericana Chihombori Kwa. She is going to be one of our guests. on the 8th of June, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope she didn't hear me pronounce her name wrong. Oh my goodness. All right. So, guys, we would see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Until then, keep watching the Queen Amina show and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.